Hello YouTube. I'm just going to come and talk to you some more about my experience with my Narc parents. I'm going to start with the experience that I had at 5 years old whenever I lived in Sylvester, Georgia on Pecan Street. There was a family who lived beside us, and they were friends with my parents, as well as the young kid who was around 5 or 6 years older than me. He was friends with my brother. So anyways, this particular individual, child, this boy, he started showing me, like, how to hump. And I was like, whoa, wait, what? And I was confused about the whole thing. So anyways, he started showing me how to hump. And he actually, like, told me, if you tell anybody about this, I will beat you up. Okay, well, I was a young kid, so, I was young, especially like a young girl, and I was so scared, and I was afraid, this little boy, he was going to beat me up. So, and anyways, this was already wired in my brain by my parents. Like, if you do something wrong, there's consequences for what you do wrong. And so they made me think that it was okay, it was like normal, and they always made me feel like it was my fault. Well, anyways, with this incident, whenever I got around like 33, 34 years old, I had mentioned this particular incident about the sexual abuse to my mother. Guys, do you know what my mother said? This is so stupid. Like, especially coming from a freaking mother. If you're actually a real mother, then you're not going to allow another person, regardless of if it's a child or a grown man or something, you're not going to allow them to sexually abuse your own daughters. And I would hope that you wouldn't let them abuse your sons as well. But my mother, she says, oh, he must have learned it from someone else. That's all the fuck she said. She don't say, okay, so let's go to him, let's talk to him, let's, like, try to, see where everything is coming from, and let's try to make a solution. And tell, make sure that we tell him that he will stay away from our family because he's doing bad things. No. She don't say anything. She just says, like, oh, he must have got touched too as a little child. So, that makes me think, did she touch him? Did my dad touch him? Did one of them show him how to touch himself? Or did his parents show him? I don't know where he found out, like, all this sexual abuse stuff. I don't know where he found out all this stuff about sex. But anyways, he started showing me. Anyways, a couple of years passed, and we moved to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where there was a lot of malnutrition for me and my siblings. My mother, she would cook this awful fucking dishes that she would make us eat, while her and my dad were eating, like, pizza, drinking cola, just you name it, any kind of fast food or whatever good food that they wanted to eat. They were eating that while they were making us eat fucking shit, basically. And it was so nasty, this food. I used to tell them, it's nasty, I don't like it, it tastes yuck, it makes my stomach, like, feel sick. And they would fucking make me sit there and eat it. My dad, he would say, you're going to eat it, or you're gonna go to bed without food. What the fuck is that? I'm like 6 or 7 years old, man. I'm a growing child. Why the fuck did you, like, do all of this malnutrition abuse towards me and my siblings? I don't understand that. And that's fucking abuse, And this shit, they need to stop with families and children. I'm sick of all this bullshit like this. And then, as the years passed by, I was still continuing. We were still eating bullshit in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And I remember a lot of times I went to sleep, guys, without food. I went to sleep without eating, okay? Only because I didn't like what my mother cooked, and my father, he sent me to bed without supper. So I went to bed without supper, and then later, after this, I would go down in the morning to, like, the refrigerator, and I would find, like, pizza or all kind of good stuff, and I would just shove my face, I would just eat as much as I could, and then later, bleh, I would throw up all over the place. Why? Because I hadn't had nothing to eat in many hours before. I mean, they send me to bed, like, what, maybe 8:30? I'm waking up, like, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the next day. So hungry I can barely stand myself. Jesus. I was happy, for one thing, about the food and about eating. When we finally moved to Pearson Road in Sylvester, Georgia, behind We were living in a trailer behind a trailer that my grandmother lived in. I was so fucking happy because I was actually going to be able to eat food. So anyways, we moved over there, and that's where the physical abuse that started. My dad, like, I remember I used to look out my window and... Oh, man, sorry. Like, I don't want to get, like, this stuff, it makes you so emotional, especially if you are, like, considerate about other people and you love other people and you just have a lot of emotions about another person. It makes me so sick, but, you know, every time I saw it, I would just cry in my room and just pray to God that he would just stop, because that was enough. I remember looking out of my room and I seen my brother. He was doing something like, you know, raking up leaves, picking up pine cones, doing different things like this. And I don't know what he did, but anyways, all of a sudden my dad, he would just start beating my brother, like punching him in his face, slapping him, kicking him on his leg, kicking him in his butt, slapping him and punching him on his back. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, every time I look out my window, when my dad and my brother is outside, I always see my dad being physical with my brother. And I don't like to see this. It made me hurt. It made me cry because my brother was getting, like, he was getting beat up by my father. And I was so angry with my father because why did he do this? So get this. When he was not beating my brother, he would find things to beat me about. He barely even touched my sister. Throughout all of her years of living, her 18 years of living at home, I bet you he probably only did like, like just slapped her just a small little piece like this. Like, it was barely even a slap that he slapped her. And he probably slapped her only probably 2 times in the 18 years that she was living at home. That was ridiculous. And then they talking about some, oh, he didn't hit her like he does me and Little Rocky because she has heart problems. And they were scared that they would hurt her, and then she would have to go to the hospital, and then they would get in trouble because the nurses and everything, they would probably be reporting them to child services because they would think, you know, well, she's been in the custody of the parents, so the parents have to be the ones who have, like, abused her or done something to her. So that's the reason why my sister, supposedly, why she never got spankings or she never really got slapped or anything in the face, because she had heart issues. Okay? Well, when he wasn't beating my brother, he was beating me. And his favorite thing about me was, go get the belt, go get the belt, go get the belt. He always wants to beat me with the belt. So, this right here is funny. One time, he had beat me so much. And sometimes he had beat me like with the belt and just slapped me around and shit. Slapped me on my back, slapped me on my face. Just whatever he could do, he'd just slap you. If you made him mad or things wasn't going his way, bah, he'd just slap you for just... And you don't even know what the fuck you did. You're just standing there like, okay, I just got slapped, but I'm not sure why. And so, anyways, he would tell me to go get the belt. I remember one time, this right here, it was funny as hell. He told me, go get the belt. I went and got the belts. I brought it to him. He got up out of his chair. I heard when he got up out of his chair, I said, oh shit, it's fixing to get real, because I heard that sofa, that like recliner, I heard him, you know, get up out of the recliner, and I said, oh shit, shit's fixing to hit the fan now. He's coming to beat my ass. And actually, I don't even remember what I had done at that time, but anyways, he was coming to spank me, and he spanked me. He spanked me with that belt, and he twisted his ankle. That shit was funny. But the bad thing was, he tried to punish me because God had actually twisted his ankle, because God said, you know what, that's enough of beating her for no reason. He twisted your ankle to make your ass sit down and leave me the fuck alone. No, this right here is what he did. So, after the fact of him twisting his ankle, he laid down on the bed now like he was so sick and all of this, and he was making me for hours and hours at a time stand at the bottom of the fucking bed and rub and massage his damn foot and ankle. Are you fucking kidding me? So, Basically, it was my fault because he twisted his ankle. And he was going to punish me. He was going to punish me. He didn't care if he had gotten hurt or not. He was going to damn punish me. When he said he was going to punish me, he was going to motherfucking punish me. Okay? That's what was in his mindset. If he was going to punish somebody, he was going to damn punish them. Regardless of what you thought or what anybody else they thought. You was fixing to get punishment. So, therefore, my punishment was I had to stand down at the end of the bed and massage his foot and his leg because he twisted his ankle while he was beating me for only God knows what. Okay, I'm just saying, I've already, during my experience about all of this, and it's just been like a big fucking mess. Like, not only did I had sexual abuse, I had physical abuse.